Okay, so in this video, I'm going to kind of walk through basically taking some of the skill set you may have gained or you should have gained from um, just kind of adding in like a header, division, main, adding in those HTML pages, making one from scratch and learning how to set IDs for them with the CSS style class and downloading templates and using those to your advantage. Like I said, a lot of times starting out with this kind of stuff, um, you can kind of start putting content in there, but then it gets a little crazy with, if you're adding division stuff like that. And if you see all the templates that were created online or that have been created for, where it's kind of mostly a drag and drop or a just insert your image there, insert your text there, and it's knowing how to all this stuff works is just makes it even easier, especially whenever you're doing it like in something like Dreamweaver. Even whenever you're doing like a WordPress building site or a Squarespace or something like that, you may some are easier than others, some have less coding than others, obviously, but just knowing how this works makes it really simple. And if you can kind of figure the basics of the HTML out, you can basically use HTML templates for your advantage because there's a lot of nice ones out there. So if you open up Dreamweaver and go to your new right here, you got your new documents which are created, but you got these starter templates. Now the Bootstrap templates are a little advanced. They've got like a lot of content, but they're more specified for stuff, which if you feel like messing with one of those, they may have multiple CSS styles attached to them, which is fine. I'm gonna stay out of those for right now. I'm just gonna go to my basic layout. You've got, they used to have more on here, like multi-column, three-side, main, middle. It kind of went on for a while down here, but now they've kind of, I guess, gotten rid of them because it's kind of more centralized. But they've got like a simple grid still, then like a single page, kind of like you're scrolling, like your big images, scrolling content, image content. I'm going to open up this multi-column one right here, see what we can do with it. So already out of the bat, just by downloading it, opening up, if you look at your live view, you've got, your working links. You've got your CSS style that is attached to it. It's not a separate sheet yet. It's kind of in the index or in the actual page. Whenever you go to save this, it'll create a separate page for it though. But yeah, and see all these things right here, you can kind of click on them and find out where they are in the source code, in other words. So I want to change this word simple up here. Obviously you can change it down here in your design. So if I just type in it updates it there. You can change the color of these headers and stuff like that, this background, obviously by going to CSS. The good thing is if you go to your CSS designer over here, you can find the selector for the IDs, and since we've already kind of been through this creating them, then you kind of know what you're dealing with. Like that's your primary header right there. Now if you wanted to change your background, set a blue, kind of change it to a darker blue. You're already updating your stuff now. And you can see it all happening over in the CSS style, stuff like that. Here's your main background color if you wanted to change that. Just going to do a quick edit there, see what happens. Oh yeah. Oh, maybe I needed to, there it goes. Oh, I was messing with that division down there. Container. You see how easy it is though to kind of just do a quick edit and then just do a quick color connection, or you could do it through the ID. It's a little easier to keep up with over here if you're doing it with the code. I'm just going to undo that. So the first thing you need to do really before you start inserting images and stuff like that, you need to make a place to call the images, because right now, if you select on these things, they're just kind of calling them from where they're at, the Dreamweaver browser basically that you've uploaded into your folder. But you can basically start interchanging these things out. But what you need to do first, though, especially if you were to create multiple pages and then start linking these pages together, like this would be my index page with my home page. I would create another page for about, another page for work, another page for portfolio, services, clients, and all that. You would do that. It's just file, save as new, file, save as new, however you do it. But before you even do any of that, we need to actually kind of save this site. So I'm going to create this new site here. I'm going to call this my template demo. And I made a folder just a minute ago on my desktop where I wanted this to go in at, because I don't want it interfering with the other demo I was doing. So right here. So when you do that, if you notice now, you have your template demo thing over here, but you need to go and you need to save all in the template demo. I'm going to save this one as my index page. Now, lo and behold, it has updated the folder with the index page that I created. It's given me an image folder, which has put these placeholders that were located in whatever browser or whatever folder that Dreamweaver was saved on my computer. It's put those images in there, and it's also saved my CSS style sheet basically in my CSS folder. So these are my images, and if you look on my website or on my desktop, this is the folder it created with these right here. So I have this one. I'm just going to add an image in here. Let me find some images I can put in here for this thing. These are pretty big. No, they're not that big. Simply A. Say I want to manipulate the text of this, about this right here. This will be my about page. A little about my page. You can manipulate anything you want to in that page. I'm gonna change the color of this background, which I thought I did already. Maybe when I saved it, go to my primary header class. Maybe I did that in a previous iteration of this tutorial. I've had to redo it. They were testing alarms here at the university, so it was blowing my microphone out. So I'll change it to a bluer. You wanted to change the file of this, go to the title. They're in here somewhere. Let me show you how to insert a new photo. I'm going to go to my design, it's a little easier to see it. So I want to put a new photo in here. Basically, if you just click on it, it'll tell you where everything's at. It'll find it. That's where I'm at right there. Images placeholder. It's in the images file. Well, I want to change it to that A. Was the name of a.jpg? Okay, good. And if you notice, it brought it in as it squeezed it because this thing was not set at 400, 200, but it kept it the resolution there anyway. If I wanted to make it even smaller now, go to the live side. If I wanted to make it smaller, I could just actually kind of adjust it here, which, just to show you. But yeah, it kind of already sets the resolution and size, and so now that you can kind of place your images there. Let me split this back. Change that back to what it was, because I like that size. Oh, I want that. Let me save all. I'll do a preview. Sometimes I like to preview it in Google Chrome because that's my browser of choice. But yeah, so see, you can already start manipulating your stuff here. You could probably add an image in here if you wanted to as your header. All of these right here, remember we did the CSS style transitions. Now if you want to go linking pages, creating new pages, so I need to create a work page. So I am going to save as work.html. It's going to be the same as your index, and this is where you need to change your content. Work. I am going to place another image in here so it's a little easier to tell. That's a really long name, and I really don't want that really long. We're just going to call this one B. So I'm on my work page. Change this to B. Same thing in it. I'm going to go to File. Actually, let me link these together real quick. So this is my need to create a link here. I want this thing to link to the work page. You can go down here, just like we created links earlier, or you could create the CSS transitions, which which will add to the CSS style. But I'm just going to create a hyperlink to it. So I want to go to my folder right here. You could go to your little point to file, point to your work page, which I actually need to save it first. Sorry. Save all. So now I have my work page here. So I'm going to go to my index. Sometimes that doesn't work. Go to browse folder. I know that will work. Nice. And I am going to, this will go to my about page. Or my index. I'm going to go to my work page and create the same things for them. Because it's obviously going to click on there. And if I want to go to my about needs to go to my about, to my index, in other words. File, save all. Let me browse this, see if my links work. Alright, my about. Cool. My about works. Go to my work. I'm on my work page. And then it just becomes dragging and dropping, inserting, working between your source code, what you can work with your source code, and what you can work in your design. Remember, your live view's a little different. You can't really edit in there, but it makes it a little easier to see. Sometimes whenever I come to this right here, I'm usually just in my design mode. I usually go back to my live mode to find out what class or ID that style is, or that item is. In other words, for instance, like I'll see it's the placeholder, then I can go to my CSS designer and find that. So you can do a hard search for some free Dreamweaver templates. I mean, they're all over the place. I was messing with this one right here. I clicked on that one. They were free downloads. I think this is free templates on the web templates. Jack's free Dreamweaver templates, some business ones. And they usually just come one paged. And then you kind of save your pages and create your content. Like I said, I did that one with the food on there. It's kind of bad. Yeah, I don't know what this is. They've got the Bootstrap Dreamweaver templates. I downloaded this one right here earlier today, and it comes basically with, let me bring it up. It'll come with one index page, which is the food and drink. I think I got rid of the logo in the middle there. I need to go back, and I was putting another image in there, but basically that image is kind of what's in there on the thing right there. I took it out and was replacing it with an image that I was creating for it. But it'd come with your images in the image folder, and these are all replaceable, including the text. Close this, I'll open it. This one has multiple styles created with it. So as soon as I save this, it had, still in this one, it'll come with these different style sheets connected to it, which is fine as long as they're all linked to it. And then my source code will be all over in here. So, but yeah, so this is kind of an intro to the using the templates with Dreamweaver. Like I said, whenever I have created the HTML pages that I've created, which is actually not, I mean, it's been a few, it was years ago, I would use the templates and I would just kind of start manipulating stuff in there. You can take divisions out, you can take boxes out and kind of reposition things. Just make sure, you know, you keep up with the code, what if things are displayed in the inline box and stuff like that. You should be good. Making sure, you know, everything's got a footer and a header, everything stays on the same page. But best thing to do is just open it up, go ahead and create your links, and that way you can kind of interchange content between the different pages, or get rid of a link if you don't really necessarily need it. I mean, you can go down here and repad this over a little bit, and you don't really need that page. So okay, well, I hope this helps, and thanks for watching.